All right, what crazy AI news? AIs are now running their own science experiments, which is kind of cool, kind of scary. A little bit in the vein of AI writing its own code, which I talked about in the last video, which posted on Monday. And you can see that. I'll post a link to it down below. And so a lot of the things that people are scared of with that news is similar to what people are scared of with this news. The idea that scientific development is progressing faster than we can control it. But first, let me tell you about what's going on. This is about ChatGPT, and OpenAI announced that they worked with another company called Ginkgo, and they connected GPT-5 to an autonomous lab. And what this meant was that the AI, their GPT-5, could propose experiments or run these experiments at scale, learn from the results, and decide what to try next. And that closed loop brought protein production costs down by 40%. And no, we're not talking about lab grown meat here. We're talking about proteins that are useful for things like creating vaccines and inventing and creating new medicines and stuff like that. So proteins are like core building blocks of our biological processes in the body. So our DNA is the instruction manual for how to build the proteins, and then the proteins get built, and then the proteins go off in our body and interact with like all the other pieces of our bodies and get stuff done. So proteins are really, really important. One of the biggest scientific breakthroughs of recent years, and I think they won I'm pretty sure they won a Nobel Prize for it. I'll link it down below. Was AlphaFold, AI program, came out before all the generative AI stuff, but it was kind of similar kind of vibe, and it folded proteins. So the problem we had was that you know what the protein is made of. And you can look at it and you say, oh, this is the chemicals that are in it, or this is the molecules that are in it, right? This is the atoms that are in it. But you don't know how it interacts with other molecules because you don't know its shape. So atoms can come together in different shapes. They could be like all in a line or a little hexagon or in a weird curly spiral. And if you get a lot of atoms together, the shapes can become very, very complicated very quickly. And proteins are big. So there's a lot of different shapes they could fold up into, like origami. And figuring that out is very, very, very complicated. And it would take a lot of trial and error and laboratory work and experiments for researchers to find out how even a single protein folded up so that they could see how it would interact with other things in the body. And Google built an AI called AlphaFold, trained it on all the proteins we already knew about, and physics and how stuff works, and it folded them all. It folded all the proteins. This was just like, hundreds or thousands of years worth of work done like that. And they open sourced the entire database and gave it to all the scientists on the planet to use for free. And, next time you complain about the ads that Google is showing you, just remember that Google folded all the proteins for free. It gave everybody a free map of the entire world. It gave everybody a free cell phone operating system that helped make cell phones super cheap for everybody. It gave everybody a free translation tool that is completely free, no ads. It gave everybody a free email and free calendar that still don't have ads in them. It digitized all the books from all the old libraries around the planet and put them online into Google Books for free. So, yeah, I'm pissed about intrusive ads, but also, really, am I really that pissed? Am I like really, really that pissed? And just ask yourself, what has Facebook done for us lately, right? Uh, or Microsoft. Okay, yeah, Bill Gates, all the, Epstein files aside, he is out there like curing malaria or whatever with the money he got out of Microsoft. Um, but Facebook, okay. Anyway, uh, uh, what was I talking about? Oh yes, OpenAI and AIs solving medical problems. So it doesn't quite rise to the level of Google's AlphaFold. This isn't something OpenAI is given away for free. They're charging researchers for this. Um, but still, very cool. So, according to OpenAI, GPT-5 designed batches of experiments. The lab executed the experiments. The data was fed back into the AI for the next round of experiments. They did the cycle 6 times. They explored over 36,000 reaction compositions. And so um, they found that the improvements came from identifying combinations that work well together and that hold up in the realities of high throughput automation. So GPT-5 identified low-cost reaction compositions that humans had not previously tested in this configuration. So cell-free protein synthesis has been studied for years, but the space of possibilities is huge and untapped. And when you can propose and this is from AI, when you can propose and execute thousands of combinations quickly, you can find workable regions that are easy to miss with a manual workflow. And they plan to apply this optimization to other biological workflows where fast iteration can unlock progress. Um, and you do still need, once you've zeroed in on good candidates, they still need testing and iteration, but it gets you closer to promising drugs and gives you a lot more things to play with. And so, since we all want cancer to be cured, we all want all the other diseases to be cured, this is a really, really good thing. And this is why I am not upset about ChatGPT adding ads to, whatever, right? I am not upset about people using AI to generate images of Will Smith eating spaghetti or videos of Will Smith eating spaghetti. Generating videos of Will Smith eating spaghetti teaches the AIs about real world physics, about cause and effect, about object permanence. It improves their ability to make scientific discoveries because it gives them a better understanding of how the world works. I am not opposed to this. This is not a bad thing. Yes, it does take energy. Yes, it does take water. Although I do have to say that close to 90% of all the new energy requirements in the United States last year were generated by renewables. And that the latest versions of AIs, I was just at CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, for the NVIDIA keynotes. The latest versions of the AIs are cooled by water systems that run in closed loops. So the water stays in them and doesn't get wasted and evaporated. It just stays in there in a closed loop because they're running the chips at such high temperatures. So, very, very cool stuff. And we're getting real benefits out of it, as opposed to, say, data centers running Bitcoin or water being used to for golf courses, right? We are getting actual benefits from these deployments of AI, like real benefits that will change our lives and definitely the lives of our children. So we forget about that. We focus on the the scary new stuff that we don't understand, like the heating and cooling requirements, right? And the energy and cooling requirements, and about the stupid videos of silly cats on skateboards. And we think that that's all that AI is. And no, no, that's just the visible annoying parts. And the stuff that's actually happening is very interesting. And it is transformative. And transformative for the most part in a good way. And we do need regulation. We do need better controls. We do probably need some international cooperation on making sure that the stuff is safe. And we have done that before for other technologies. We have done that for nuclear weapons. We have done that for chemical weapons. Uh, it's not always perfect, but we have not had a nuclear war. So it does work. It does work, even when it's our arch enemy that has to cooperate on this. Nobody wants to see Terminator. Nobody wants AI to kill us. I think that we have a very, very good chance of making it through this. And there are a lot of problems that could use extra resources to help us solve them. And AI can give those resources. So I'm optimistic. I am optimistic. I'm optimistic even though my own job is on the line and I know it. But yeah, I think we'll do okay. All right, everybody. Bye bye. How do I turn this thing off? Oh, there's the button.